even just certain things like that on like, well, how do you think about this? So they're actually really, really good with that stuff. It's kind of creepy.
And they're
Just these ones.
Yeah.
and they're pretty much straight A.
Straight A students.
Yeah, I have straight A's right now.
Yeah.
I always have good grades.
Yes, you can.
I see. So, all right, for all of you, I'm Venerable Chidao. I'm 36 in the U.S. I'm 37 in my country, Chinese calendar. You add another year. I've been a monk for 9 years. And I guess your mom's been following me for years and I didn't know. I have a lot of followers on TikTok, so I don't know who's following me. I meet people out in the streets all the time. They're like, it's funny. And in Laos, across the world, you know, I walk in the streets and they don't say, are you? They don't ask and confirm identity. They just say, I follow you.
They tell you.
Very confidently, they say, I follow you. Right? And then I met Grandma at Gulfport Community group, and it's kind of like a place where people share common beliefs of different background, philosophy, religions. So it's really chill there. And something special about Grandma is Grandma have a heart of giving. It's evident, right? A heart of giving. She gave you all a condo. Goodness. That makes her one in 100 million. Because in America, people, you know, they really focus on themselves and not other people.
Yeah,
You notice that, right?
a lot.
My house, my car, my keys, my cat, my my everything. Pay attention to the word my, me, mine, I, and how much that costs us peace. And your grandma and I have similar backgrounds in criminal justice. You know, Grandma used to supervise people who've been in trouble with the law, and I work at the courthouse for people who was in trouble with the law. And now I'm not active in the criminal setting anymore. I'm more active in the family law setting, divorce case. So I just got back from court not too long ago, like 20 minutes, 30 minutes ago. Okay. And the way how Grandma treated me out there in Gulfport, I was just like, who is this woman?
He's that tender Asian man I'm looking for. I always tease him.
And we joke a lot, and it breaks the ice, and we get to know each other. The start of getting to know each other. It's difficult nowadays to find good friends, family and friends together, because everyone's always on their phone. The media paints this picture that the world is unsafe. You know, should be indoors more. It's not really too bad being in here half the day, most of the day. But you know, people really, they don't behave like, you know, how Grandma used to grow up. You know, where you say hi and go out and play tennis and everything that we see here, sports, baseball, football, and not worry that, you know, someone's gonna get shot or things. So so I was invited here to give a blessing in this new condo, and felt very moved by this request because it's not common in the West. In the East, yes. Even in the East, they even invite us to, like, you know, like feng shui the house to make sure that everything is set up correctly, and if we feel certain energy, to tell people to move certain objects and around. But I don't feel that here, given all of the room. It seems peaceful. It seems radiant, ambient, welcoming, and safe. Today's talk is about a home, a house. So can you guys tell me what some of the parts of a house?
Bathroom, yeah, the bedrooms.
What else?
Maybe the porch, front porch,
Mm-hmm.
kitchen. Rest of the house, family, I guess. Dining room.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And no, just pretend like if this was not sitting on if this was not a condo and it was just a standalone sitting house, you think what makes it stand? What covers it?
Well, the walls, the roof. I guess that's really it. Floor.
Or roof? Huh? You familiar with the word foundation of a house? Hmm. You guys ever seen a house in progress to be built?
Yeah.
You see the kind of like the wood,
Yeah.
you know, vertical, right? They're planning everything out, right? Structure, right? Structure, and then the most importantly is going to be the roof, right? It's rain and water and stuff like that. So the Buddha was this man. He had all the riches in the world. He was a prince. His father was a king, and his father shielded him in a palace and gave him all things that he wanted. Luxury, food, really good food, luxury, entertainment. The Buddha got curious one day. He says, I wonder what lies beyond this wall. And lies beyond the wall is life. And of course, in life, you have birth, old age, disease, decay, and death. Birth, this is why you guys get to be here. And then eventually you're going to get old, like all of us. And then eventually we all have to cease to exist. We all have an expiration date. So, he wanted to know what was on the other side, which is life. His father didn't want him to see that. And so he got out and he got to see all the sights, the old man, the sick man, and the dead man, and then the holy man. Kind of looked like me, a man that is in orange robes, and the Buddha was like, wow, I wonder what that guy's all about. He looks pretty chill. And eventually the Buddha left the palace and went off on his own, cut his hair, so that's why we don't have any hair. We're like miniature models or like Ken dolls of the Buddha.
Yeah.
And he gave up everything. He gave up all of the gold and riches in the world to find true joy and happiness. He wondered what that true joy and happiness is. What is it like to just give up everything? So he taught for 45 years. There's 84,000 teachings. There's 45 Bibles, so imagine 45 of these, but thicker. It's like that thick. Yeah, there's 45 of these. And 84,000 teachings inside 45 of these. Okay. And so that's a lot. That's why I like this little journal that I bought, because it just looks like a lot. It's too much going on here. But some of the most key teachings today. And the gift for grandma and your mom has to do with knowledge, and it has to do with leaves, which I see leaves here already. I love it. I walk in and I try to connect objects in the house, in the room, to teachings. Oh, we got some leaves here. All right, use some of these. So knowledge is like information. What did the Buddha wanted us to know? So what are some of the most important things you got to know today? Is they walked with the Buddha in the forest, and there's a lot of these leaves on the floor, and the Buddha picked up a handful, and the Buddha said, all right guys, which is more leaves? All the leaves in here in the forest, or the leaves in my hand? And they were like, that's a no-brainer. Obviously there's more leaves in this forest than the leaves that is in your hand. There's only a rare few of leaves in your hand. And the Buddha says, good answer. True. That's true, just, and right. But all I teach is what you need to know. What you need to know is all the leaves that's in my hand. Each leaf will represent what it is that you need to know. Aha. So the knowledge that I give you all today is going to be just that, just a handful of things, just a couple of leaves that I hope you all will remember and it will serve you well. Okay. Back to the house. Structure of the house and the roof. foundations of the house. Very important. Mom brought you up, seems like pretty good. Pretty good, calm. Good karma, by the way. That leads up to all of this. The causes and conditions for mom and grandma to realize that it's like winning the lottery. Because a lot of genes can be passed on, and some genetic factors can cause, a child to have intellectual issues and cognitive issues and ADHD, the existence of that, learning disabilities. And I don't see that here. So the literally it's like winning a lottery. The Buddha taught that being born in this lifetime as a human is a favorable rebirth realm. What different us from animals is our ability to think clearly, think and feel, and how we use that thinking to not suffer, to not make things personal. So you have laid the foundations of the house for your kids. And I think grandma too plays a very important role with that, planning all of this out. And I was like, boom, I got a child. What am I gonna do to solidify their future? And the slow, meticulous, careful, and patient process in thinking about that. And now what is important is also the roof of the house, which is to make sure that the roof doesn't have any holes on it where water can leak through. And also the guarding of the house. So each of you is a house. Your body, mind is a house. It's a temple. Very sacred thing that you have here. And to guard that always. Not let strangers into your life. Know who's the good friend, who is not a good friend, who is the wise and who is the fool. So when you guard the house, it will become safer. Don't let everybody on your boat, because some people would just sink the boat. Be careful who you let on your boat, because they'll try to sink it because they can't be the captain. You understand what I'm trying to say? Be careful of strangers coming into your life. Remember, you are the house. Be careful with strangers coming in. Be careful not to do unwise things, foolish things. The Buddha gave 5 precepts. It doesn't matter what you belong to. You believe in God, don't believe in God, believe in Buddha, Jesus Christ. It doesn't matter. But anyone can agree from these 5 things. Is number 1, try not to kill anything that breathes and lives, any living creatures, because they too want to be happy. They too want a happy, joyful life, and they don't want to suffer, and they don't want to die. So, if there's a mosquito or a fly in the room, we have to try to skillfully shoo it away, or think of an ingenious way to not harm it. If we harm it, it'll be bad luck, bad karma.
Just catch it and let it go outside.
Yeah, and just, tell them, look, we don't want any trouble with you. It's really annoying that you're here. And I think some of them can't understand. Number 2, undertake the precept from taking what is not given. So something's not given to you freely. If you find something at the beach or on the floor or at school, perhaps an iPhone or a bracelet or a ring or a necklace, or don't take it because it wasn't given to you freely. Number 3, refrain from sexual activity. Which is, I think you guys are old enough to understand that. Don't have a boyfriend until you're a lot older. Make sure grandma runs a background check on them. Don't hang out with boys at night. It could lead to sinful things, unwise things. And I think when I was in middle and high school, 9th grade, I think there were some of my colleagues that were even pregnant at 14. Like y'all had that, right?
Yeah.
Mom and grandma, huh?
Yeah, I've seen
Kids were like
school.
pregnant at 14.
Yeah.
Ooh, girl, no. Right? A baby, just imagine a baby carrying a baby, and your tummy's this big, and crying, you can't sleep. You enjoy your sleep? God to change diapers, you know. And I think they have the program where you take care of this fake baby and it cries. We had that.
Yes.
6, 7, I don't know. Lord knows how, 15 years ago. I don't remember. I'm so old. I'm
Usually
37.
high school now, no matter what, usually around like 9th and 10th grade is when they do all that. So you're about at that time now.
Yeah, I received education on sex and the consequences of it in 8th grade, so it was appropriate to tell you all about number 3, the precept of sexual activity. Number 4, refrain from incorrect speech, which is say nice things, think nice things to people. Don't talk bad about other people, because it does come back and it starts fight and it's ugly. And we've seen how girls fight, right?
Pulling people's
Hair and wailing. And it's on YouTube, right? It's on YouTube and TikTok. Ooh, that's rough. I'm glad I don't have hair. Try to grab this. Let's try to grab this. I just slip out of it.
That's right.
Run away.
Naked monk.
I have a tank top in here, but if you see a monk running, you run too. You run too. Okay. Number 5 has to do with drugs and drinking. So to try not to touch alcohol and try not to touch things that can harm your body at such a young age, because your brain is still developing at this time. You're very smart, bright, intelligent. If you like to write, continue with that. If you use drugs and alcohol, sometimes it could mess up the way how you write. You know, people on drugs or drugs for a long time, they like shake their hands. All sorts of disorders of the body. Yeah, I worked in medicine for quite some times also. So you guys know what you want to do for future career?
Maybe psychologist, but I'm not sure. It's interesting.
It is.
I don't know what I want to do.
Okay. So, you know, protect your mind and protect your intelligence. Anything that is intoxicating could cloud your judgment and not make you become smart and intelligent. It could affect your intelligence. I think you all have seen people do dumb things. You just watch the news, right? Right, yeah. So that's how you protect your roof. That's how you protect your house. That's how you protect this condo. And this was important for me to talk to you about, is because there's a lot of broken homes out there in the world. Broken homes meaning there's drugs, there are drugs activities, people don't live right, people sell drugs out of their homes, people hide things, and not a happy home. People fight, it's a big mess. We call that domestic violence. So in a family unit, you want to cohabitate with each other peacefully, to share and feel safe, you know. Hopefully that mom becomes your best friend and vice versa. So you tell her everything and whatever bothering you at home and in school, and talk to each other and figure things out intelligently. You know, talk about your feelings. And if you're not doing well in a class, to talk to your mom about that so she can talk to teachers. I know certain teachers can be difficult. Yeah, I don't think I have any worries in this house. It's gonna be quite of a peaceful, happy home. Okay. So you have any questions for me so far on what I explained to you about the 5 precepts? We call it the 5 precepts in Buddhism. And I may just leave this here for Mom so that she can check it out, since she's been following me, and she can look into Buddhism a little more. No questions?
I understood it already.
Oh, see? She was profiling me the whole time as a psychologist.
They call me Yaya. Yaya is grandmother in Greek.
Oh.
So that's how they
Yeah.
Oh, that's a cool book.
Oh yeah, this I really want to sit down one day and just. So I am in the middle of writing a book, but just digitally, you know. And I'm 30% done, so that means like, you know, I'm like this much done. I need like this much to finish and publish it. But I've been so busy working that I haven't been able to do that. So the more journals I buy, it reminds me, hey,
Yeah.
you need to go back to it.
Yeah.
Stop procrastinating. So today you're going to hear the language of the Buddha. It's 2,567 years old. It's called Pali. P-A-L-I. So here you see the bold letters. The bold letter is the language of the Buddha in Pali. And your mom likes ancient stuff, so I imagine that mom read a lot about history and ancient civilization. And back in the day, I really loved Egypt, the history of Egypt. For some reason, just Egypt. Because ain't nobody done teach Buddhism in our school. So we learned about Egypt, and I was like, papyrus and King Tut, and the pyramids have mazes. And I was like, I want to go. I want to be an explorer. I just want to run in there with my flashlight and look for King Tut, see where he's hiding, and the gold that they bury with them in the, all of that. And then when I see the papyrus paper, I'm like, oh, King Tut touched it. I want one too. So I was always like this little kid, and there's a little kid inside of me too. When I'm not a monk, when I don't have to do rituals, stuff like that, I act like a little kid. I was like, I want to go see pyramids. So, but this is the language of the Buddha, and it's 2,500 years old, so it's beautiful. And today, consistent with blessing a home, I am going to chant. So you all can try to enjoy the chant like it's music in your ears. And we will be done in no time. After that, I think we have dinner planned,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Dinner across the street?
Here, actually here.
Oh, here?
Yeah,
Oh,
we're gonna eat here.
okay, cool. Cool bean. So first I'm going to pay homage to the Buddha, and then I'm going to recite the precept because the whole world's watching me, so I gotta do my job right. Okay. So I'm gonna get real comfy in this couch. Is that okay with y'all? I'm gonna look like the Buddha, the statue of the Buddha that you see there where he's sitting and meditating. Okay. All right. Oh, I love these couches. I might not want to get up. I'll do that later. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhaṃ saranang gacchāmi, Dhammāṃ saranang gacchāmi, Sanghaṃ saranang gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Buddhaṃ saranang gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Dhammāṃ saranang gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Sanghaṃ saranang gacchāmi, Tatiyami Buddhaṃ saranang gacchāmi, Tatiyami Dhammāṃ saranang gacchāmi, Tatiyami Sanghaṃ saranang gacchāmi. Now I'm going to read the 5 precepts that I explained earlier. Panati Pata Veramani Sikha Patang Samadhiyami. Oh, I didn't know that now. Veramani Sikha Patang Samadhiyami. Kame Sumicha Jara Veramani Sikha Patang Samadhiyami. Musavada Veramani Sikha Patang Samadhiyami. Supra Meraya Machappamadatana Veramani Sikha Patang Samadhiyami. Saki game charupe girisigarate chantalike vimane di perate jagame taruvanagahane ge hawantum hikete pumma chayantu dewa chalatala visame ยาคานทัปปานากาเตทางตสังติเกยังมุนิการวัจนังสาวะโหเมสุนันตุธรรมาสาวนกาโลอายัมพดันตังธรรมาสาวนกาโลอายัมพดันตาธรรมาสาวนกาโลอายัมพดันตาโยสานิสินโนวราโบธิมุตเลมารังสเสนังมหติมวิเจโยสัมโบธิมากาจิอัญญาตัญญาโนโลกุตโมตังพานามามิบุตทังเยจะบุตธาอติตาจะเยจะบุตธาอนาคตาปัจจุปนาจะเยบุตธาอหังวันดามิสัพพดาอิติปิโสภะคะวะอะระหังสัมมาสัมพุทโธวิจาจารณสัมปันโนสุขโตโลกวิดูอนุตตโรปุริสธัมมสารติสัทธาเดวมนุสสานังบุทโธภะคะวะติสวากาโตภะคะวตาธัมโมสันเดียทิโกอากาลิโกเอหิปัสสิโกโอปะนัยหิโกปัจจตังเวดิตาโบวิญญูหิติสุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆโอจุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆญาญปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆสามีจิปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆยะริดังจัตตาริปุริสยุกานิอาตปุริสปุงกลาเอสะภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆอาหุเนโยภาหุเนโยดาคิเนโยอัญจลิการณิโยอนุตตรังปุญญเกตังโลกัสสติ May all of you be well, may all of you be happy, may all of you be healthy. My blessings to you and this condo. My blessing radiates from the north to the south to the east and the west of all the corners of this condo. May the teachings of the Buddha protect you. May you reflect on taking the 5 precepts of not killing, of not stealing, not engaging in sexual activity, not engaging in wrong speech, not touching intoxicating substance. If you take the 5 precepts and practice, it will be a gift of safety that you give to yourself, and gift of safety to other people in this house, and gift of safety for all those in our society. May you realize the light of your own true nature. May all of you be healed. May all of you be a significant source of healing for others. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So that concludes everything, and now I have these gifts for y'all.
Huh, that was beautiful.
This is my blessing. So why don't we have Evelyn? Evelyn, right? Evelyn, come over here real quick. It's Evelyn. I have this for you. All of my energy goes into here, and it will help remind you the art of being at peace, chill, relax, and it will protect you wherever you go.
Definitely need that for anxiety.
Yes.
Put that on the backpack for sure.
Okay, the young lady, come on up this way.
Kristen.
Kristen. With a K.
Yes.
I knew it. I can read minds. How about it? Look at that. You also have 3 stones. All of my energy and blessing goes into here. Notice how notice before I chanted, the bag needed to touch me. So in Thailand and Laos, we actually have these yarns right here that all the monks hold together and into an object. So therefore I was looking for my bag, which is the same color as my robe, and I was like, oh, don't run away. So my blessing to you right here.
Thank you.
Okay. Now you know why the 3 stones? Know what they mean?
The 3 stones.
Our last name is Stones.
Really?
Their last name is Stones.
I-
That's what we always
Stones
call
right
it
here.
ourselves.
told you I could read minds. So in the teachings of the Buddha, before he passed away, you know, the first thing that I read to you all was the 3 refuge. And what is refuge? Refuge is like taking shelter. You know, when the storm comes, you know, hurricane here in Florida, run in here. It's quite safe here, especially condos, as you know. If we get flooded here, I mean, half the city's flooded.
Mhm.
So, taking refuge is taking shelter. And the Buddha says, you know, peace out, I gotta go. And by the way, what will keep you safe and your home safe is by taking the 3 refuge. And the 3 stones represent the Buddha, which is wonderful man right here. I need to hold that up so that people around the world can be like, what is he talking about? Okay, the Buddha. Okay, that's the first stone that you see. And then the second stone is the teachings of the Buddha, which is by following the Noble Eightfold Path, which I'll tell you here shortly. But this, see 8 spokes? Okay, 8 spokes. This was there. So it's like, there's these 8 things that you practice, okay, which we'll go into details another day. But it starts with right view, okay? And right view is the ability to see suffering in ourselves and suffering in other people. To see that if we want certain things too much in life, it could cause you suffering and more anxiety. Getting what you don't want, like a flat tire, causes agitation, stress, anxiety. Wanting something and not getting it, like the next iPhone, also causes stress, anxiety, and all sorts of emotions. So he left us 8 things, you know, in there. There's, you know, right mindfulness, right effort, right concentration, right intention, right thoughts. Okay, so that's the teachings of the Buddha. And lastly, number 3, which is Namo Sanghaya, which is us taking refuge. So when in doubt in life and you don't have someone to talk to or someone to confide with, and you need a wise person to give you wise advice and counsel, we are the Sangha. We are the living teachings of the Buddha, right? He had already died, so therefore we learn his teachings and pass it back on verbally, orally, so that you all can understand, take it in, know what I'm talking about, and practice, and don't do harm to yourself and don't do harm to other people. Okay? So that's why you have the 3 stones. So it's a lot for, I think, when you guys are bored, you know, try not to get on TikTok, and you can go to buddhanet.net and learn the teachings of the Buddha, which is pretty amazing, pretty awesome, and learn about his life. I think it will serve you well, and it can also help other people, like your friends, if you care about your friends and family. It's good, you know, to just sit and talk at dinner tables about the teachings and what you found out and questions you may have, and call me and be like, hey, Venerable, what is karma and how does it really work? You know, and ask about hell and heaven and all the cool things that's in there. So it's a very rich life that the Buddha have led. You know, he led a very rich life, teaching for 45 years. He died at age 80, you know, so it's a very long life and filled with wisdom and teachings that all of us could use. So I'd like to conclude the blessing for today. So I think we're hungry and we want to eat pasta. I don't know what you guys making there, but I'm curious to know. All right, let's conclude the videos and jump over to the dinner table.
Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Oh, wait.
Oh.
Oh, goodness. See, I told you I'm getting old. Right here.
Are we still on video?
Always forget. I was surprised I chanted not skipped a word. Usually I do skip a word. That's why I have the book here. And I'm like, nah, let me try this again. So, come. You all have identical ones, okay? Because you guys are adults, okay? Open up your hands, There you go. See the tree of knowledge?
Oh.
Remember the leaves that I just told you about?
Yes.
Yeah. So,
That's beautiful.
hopefully both of you are adults and you guys are responsible for yourself and for each other as family members, and to protect these lovely, wonderful princesses in the house with a pink room that I got to see, okay?
Yes. Thank you.
To dive into Buddhism with curiosity and just pick out what resonates with you and pass on the knowledge, and you can inspire them by and through your own change, which Grandma's done a saint.
She's a saint.
Yeah.
She's really, she's what helped me.
Oh, let's see.
Because, you know.
I need to discover the sainthood in her, right? And so this will go onto your keychain, and it reminds you that you have much to pass along the line and lineage for the younger generation to learn from. So you guys are living Buddhas, you know, in the home. That's what we see in the East, is the adults in the home are living Buddhas, in charge of the knowledge and the wisdom to pass on to them. So that's why I was thinking of you, and I was like, you know what? I think
It's perfect.
mom and daughter, they're gonna love it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay?
Oh.
Alright.
Love it.
Thank you all for joining across the world. I'd like to conclude this. I'm pretty sure you all don't want to sit there and watch me chew. Until the very next live, okay? Take care.
All right.